Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review. See by title below, yes, this is on episode 6 of Attack on Titan Season 2. And holy shit, don't even act. I've been so excited to see how, the Anime Watcher Onlys are going to, how they're going to react when they finally have this huge reveal come out. And it's pretty crazy because we just had that reveal in the last episode of Ymir being a Titan. And then, of course, boom! You think, what's going to happen next, It's probably going to be maybe more build up to something else crazy, right? I'm sure there was some build up and everything, and they did an amazing job, may I add, being, adapting from how it was in the manga straight into the anime. Like, literally, it felt, I had the same feeling that I had when I was reading the manga, and I was just like, holy shit. Except, obviously, it's like, for me, like I always say, when you're, reading the source material, it's always awesome, but when you see it being animated and they do a good job at it, it just feels like 10 times better. And just the feeling with the soundtrack going on and everything, and just like how, just even the atmosphere and how it was kind of like rainy and dreary, and it's kind of just like, holy shit, the amount of suspense that was going on, to the point where we finally have the huge reveal of course, Reiner and Bertholdt being the Colossal Titan and being the damn Armored Titan. I want to know, everyone, Anime Watcher Onlys, I want to know who thought, who even had a little, if you didn't get spoiled, obviously. If you got spoiled a little bit, I mean, you can still say, yeah, I got spoiled, blah, 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 because of that. But I want to know how much of you even thought there was a chance that those two would be the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan, or if they would even mention who the Colossal and Armored Titan was even in this season. Because honestly, when I was reading the manga, I mean, I kind of had a feeling that it might have been them. It's just like they said, a lot of the things do connect, and it was pretty interesting to see how they came to the point. How at first it's pretty much the beginning of this episode is more, it was just like they just finished this battle and everything. A lot about it is with Historia talking to Ymir and talking about Ymir and them trying to figure out what they're gonna do with Ymir. Obviously there's the whole thing with I forget what that guy's name is. But the one that took care of, Ed and them, and he comes along and says, there's no hole in the wall. So it just starts to point like, okay, that means it had to be people being, becoming Titans and everything to get in here. There was the whole ape, the Beast Titan that no one actually talked about in this episode, weirdly. Yeah, no, never mind. It wasn't in the manga either, actually, and that's part I was like, man, they just saw it and they not going to talk about it, But the big thing, of course, was going towards the end when you see this, 12-hour ago flashback, and you see that they at first, the whole paperwork kind of thing showing that, Annie kind of pretty much had the same exact kind of things going on in their paperwork as, Reiner and Bertholdt. At first, all of them were like, yeah, Annie didn't really talk to them. It didn't really seem like there was a possibility. But then, of course, the whole thing with Reiner, of course, during that one part when they were doing their formation thing, Reiner continuously asking, not continuously asking, but him being the one to bring up where is Eden in their formation and everything. And then obviously what should not have happened on how the female Titan literally, which of course was Annie, she should have just squeezed him and he should have been dead, but instead he gets out, and then of course Annie starts to look at her hand like there was some writing on it, and it starts to really connect in your mind. I want to know if anyone thought if that was even a possibility back then, actually, because I forget, honestly, because it's been so long since I've been at that part. I forgot like if I was like starting to think about that as well, or if it was just in my mind, whew, damn, nice, Reiner, you barely got out of there, and it's pretty crazy, like how just the way everything feels going in towards the end, the ending part, exactly, like especially when Eden is like tearing up and everything and remembering all those times that he was with, Reiner and Bertholdt, and how much times Reiner, like they were all saying, Reiner is like a big brother to them. It's pretty hard to actually think out of everyone it would be him, considering he's always with them, he's always trying to protect all of them and everything. For goodness sakes, he like got his arm bitten by a damn Titan and like was about to sacrifice himself by going over the damn building. So it makes it really hard for you to actually think if he is actually the Titan and everything. But as you really look at the facts of what's happened before, it really starts to go in your head like, holy shit. And this part I found kind of funny, especially when I was reading the manga as well, is the part when Reiner literally just goes straight up to Eden and just like nonchalantly, like just so casual, just like, hey Eden, well, I'm the Armored Titan, Bertholdt's the Colossal Titan. If you come with us, then, you know, everything will be okay. We won't have to kill anyone. We won't have to destroy the wall. You just come with us, and hey, that's a pretty good deal, right? Everyone gets out safe and fine, kind of thing. And I'm like, when I first read that, I was like, what the hell? He literally just walks up to Eren and tells him that, you know? I'm wondering, like, obviously Eren knows already because that whole 12-hour flashback and everything, and he tries to play it off like he doesn't know. He's like, oh, you're acting kind of crazy. Must be because you're kind of tired, huh? And Bertholdt's like full on like, yeah, he's probably just tired, because obviously he didn't want to tell him. He didn't want to have this kind of conversation. That's not how he wanted to do it. But obviously everything that's been going on, Reiner is, you know, being a soldier and everything is starting to have a huge impact on him. And that's of course why I titled this review Warrior, because that was a huge thing that he said in the last, you know, episode as well, that he was a warrior and now he's a soldier kind of thing. But now he's going back to his warrior roots, and he's going back to, he's just, you know, he's done with this. Him being there for 3 years has changed him a lot, and he wants to go back to how he was before. Thus, of course, you know, that's why all of a sudden he just takes off his bandages and everything, and just, it starts to heal the steam, just like with Ymir and everything. And to that moment, the way everything was going on, the facial expression. That's one thing I love about Attack on Titan, is the facial expressions. They do such a good job at expressing everything going on behind their faces, that like literally you got like him just like going crazy. Bertholdt's kind of scared. He doesn't know what to do at this moment. And then just like Eren just like surprised. Like at first when the flag thing went down, at first I thought that was what, you know, when he took out his sword a little, you know, Eren kind of exposed it and made it think, oh, they do know, kind of thing. But obviously that's not the real reason. Reiner was just pretty much done with it, obviously, and he wanted to go back home and everything. And thus, of course, you know, as he is about to go and get Eren, obviously, Mikasa comes out of nowhere, cuts his damn hand off, no remorse or being like, no, just didn't even have to think about it, just cut his arm off, obviously, and then like literally slit damn Bertholdt's neck. If it was anyone else, if he wasn't a Titan, he'd be dead. Too bad she couldn't just cut his head off, but unfortunately when she was about to do the killing blow, obviously Reiner came along, knocked her off. They turned into the damn Titans. And this is the one part I didn't like, is that the Colossal Titan, the CGI in that part, it looks so weird. It like the way that was being adapted, the animation and everything before this point was like amazing. It was awesome. And that point, it looked like how it does in the video game, which is not a good thing, may I add. And I was just full on like, what the hell? The Colossal Titan literally looks so stupid. That moment when he's like trying to grab Ymir and everything, I was like, what the heck? They could have done such a better job on that. Why did the animation drop right there? You know, like that felt so weird, and just it made that scene like not as good. It was still an awesome scene. Like I said, the soundtrack going on at that point, just everything that was going on, the emotions, the facial expressions, you know, Eren tearing up and everything at that moment as they're running away, and he realizes, you know, they are traitors. He has to stop them and everything, and he ends up just, you know, biting his thumb and turning into his Titan form. And that is where we're left off with this huge cliffhanger, to which I honestly cannot wait for the next episode to see, when we have, you know, the Titans going against each other with Eren versus Reiner, and also of course the damn Colossal Titan Bertholdt is also there. So how will, you know, Eren be able to match up against both of them? I'm not too sure, or well, I'm sure, but I'm not going to spoil it for you, obviously. But yeah, just trust me, it's going to get even better. Like, if you were already surprised that so far these episodes have been getting better and better and better and better, it's just going to continue to get better and just continue to be explosive and just unpredictable and crazy. And I can't wait to see the next episode, see how it's adapted, and I cannot wait to see your guys' reactions as well, because that's one of the things when you read a source material and you start to review the anime as well, you get to see the differences between your, you know, how you viewed it and how everyone else, you know, the anime watcher only, because usually I'm the one that's the anime watcher only, you know, but this time I am not. So it's cool to see. I want to know from you guys first, anime watcher onlys, how did you guys feel about this, you know, this episode? How did you feel everything went up and led up to this point? Did you have the same feelings as me with all the suspense? Did you enjoy the moment at the very end with the soundtrack, just everything going on? Were you as hyped as I was? Because even though I already saw it and knew what was going to happen, I was still hyped, and I'm still hyped right now, as you can see. And I just have no words. I can't wait to see next week's episode. Like, literally every time I wake up on Saturday, it's like, Man, Attack on Titan Season 2, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Manga readers as well, if you guys want to comment how you felt about it, you already know how I felt about it being a manga reader as well. I want to know how you guys felt about it. Anime watchers only, like I said before, I want to hear what you guys think about it as well. So feel free to leave those in the comments. And if you have any questions on anything I said as well, feel free to comment below. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And until next time, guys, see ya.